A very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us for this special program brought to you by Shelter Incorporated. I'm thoroughly excited as I'm joined by my guest in studio today, Mr. Mende, the Managing Director of Shelter Incorporated. Thank you for taking your time to speak with property.co.zw.
Thank you for having me, and greetings to the viewers.
What is Shelter Zimbabwe's vision for the future in the Zimbabwean property market?
Right. I guess until everyone and everybody is accommodated, we won't rest. We also have learned that real estate is a form of a currency. People are using it to store value. And not only store value, but store value in a gilt-edged manner where it is safe. Because you can't break into the brick and mortar. If I have put 20,000 into my brick and mortar, it's 20,000. There's nothing you can do to take it away unless there is, a volcano or heavy winds, El Nino that comes and washes them away. So vision is modernize. Vision is focus on accessibility and affordability. You will notice that shelter is not found in the northern suburbs, and that is by design. Because it is our view that the need is in the low income and middle income, and there is more than we can cope with there. It is the most exciting because it is the most in need of dressage, so that we keep up pace with what is happening everywhere else. We obviously have several challenges. One of the obvious challenges is that there is a culture of having standalone homes. We obviously need to engage the market and move them away from that culture and move more into the culture of flats, because we cannot continue with the sprawl. We have to go up. So you go and look at what we've got in our traditional townships, which I refer to as low density, where there is, these standalone homes. Those standalone homes have got to be part of history. And those standalone homes have got to be flats. They have got to be restructured to produce something tastier than what we've got there at the moment. There is need to improve on security. There is a need to improve on utilities. So that is our vision, to renew the settlements in the low and middle income. The middle income had been wiped out by the state of the economy over the last 20 years, but I'm happy to say that we've seen the middle income come back in the last 5 years, where more and more of our diasporans have come back home to settle. If they haven't come home to settle, they are building homes as for their parents or as a source of income. So that it would be my response to that as our vision.
You mentioned two important factors, accessibility and affordability. What advice would you give to potential buyers and property investors who are looking to enter the Zimbabwean market?
Well, the issue of accessibility, to me, begins to challenge the employer and the individual who is aspiring. they need to say to themselves, a home is a must. How do I avail that to myself? Therefore, I see society required to come up with a solution or a model of putting money aside for this, which is where you find our pay schemes useful. Because with our pay schemes, you can pay your deposit over time, and you can pay for the capital balance also over time. So these are things that we see as necessary. The capital markets in the country are not deep enough, and as you and I know, the building societies have just about died. There aren't many loans being availed by building societies, if there is a building society, or banks. So somebody has got to create some solution in that area. But I just need to remind society the origins of building societies, which are very critical as society reconstructs itself. Building societies in the townships where we grew up started as cooperatives. Okay. So what was happening was that, for some people they may call them stokvels if you use the South African example. So what would happen is that you would have 10, 20 people that live in an area that know and trust each other. Either they live in the same street, or they go to the same church, or their children go to the same school, whatever their source of getting together, agreeing to put money aside. Now, if you use the stokvel concept in South Africa, housewives put money together, and this month they buy cutlery for house 1, and the next month for house 2, 3, and so on, and until they get to house 12. Then when everybody has got cutlery, they go on to furniture, then they go on to and whatever. And exactly the same thing was happening with housing. These cooperatives were putting money together and building houses in different fashions. But I'm reminded of the late Abraham Sadomba, who, when he went into the real estate, may his soul rest in peace, when he went into the real estate, I remember him telling me a very exciting example of his encounter, where they were building houses in stages. So what they did was they all put money, and this month they were digging foundations for everybody. If they couldn't afford to build foundations for everybody, they did it for as many as they could. But they did not go further with that lot until they had finished everybody. So when they finished building foundations, then they built to the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level, and it was so exciting. That's where I learned that a builder, has to lay something like 500-700 bricks a day, because we lived it. So I think these are some of the things that have got to come into the economy for us to get to where we should go to. And I have no doubt at all that we are moving in that direction. The Zimbabweans are very creative, and I am most impressed that, like my friend Nigel Chanakira used to coin kuti, Mari Airare. That's exactly what I think has beat the Zimbabwean. It's a bug. They will find a solution.
That is very true. Mari Airare. Are there any upcoming initiatives or projects that Shelter Zimbabwe is working on that you would like the listeners to know about?
Well, the listeners must look out for, when they walk into our offices, they shouldn't just be looking to buy a stand. Mm-hmm. They should be looking to buy a stand and to buy a house. In fact, we would like you to stop talking to us about a stand. Walk through our door and talk to us about a house. Okay. Talk to us about a flat. Talk to us about a gated estate. That is what we are looking at. Talk to us about your building in the city center that is redundant. What can we do to assist you convert that to give you better revenue? So that is what is in the horizon for Shelter. Like I said earlier, we have 7 blocks of flats coming up in Apuji in Waterfalls. We have got 74 cluster units coming up in Rose Gardens in Rockview. We have got a cluster just about to be opened up or unveiled in Chipukutu of 5 units. We've got 16 clusters coming up in Stanley Hill. And so we continue knocking the walls.
Okay. I am looking forward to the Rose Gardens one. I must say, I must acquire one.
Yes.
And what role does technology play in Shelter Zimbabwe's operations, and how are you using it to benefit your clients?
Well, we are trying our best to be as up to date, but as you know, this world is moving much faster. That road is a frightening highway. To keep pace, I'm not sure. But we're doing our best to, make sure that we have designs and we share designs online so that people can do a selection of a design from wherever they are. 3D so that they have an impression of how their product is going to be completed, and BOQs being shared electronically so that people have an understanding of the cost of building their house and then breaking it down to meet their pocket. So these are the things that we are on about, and we're making lots of noises to keep in touch with society on its needs, whatever those needs may be in the areas that we are in business.
That is very interesting. You must be catering for the diaspora clients online. And how does Shelter Zimbabwe ensure ethical practices within the real estate market?
I love that. For the last 10 years, Shelter has been making noises about the establishment of a developers association. Okay. We nearly got there. That's probably, I'm not sure how many years ago, ministry took a bill to Parliament, and unfortunately it died. We are encouraging fellow developers to come together to create the Developers Association. It is a must-do because the Developers Association will create a list of customers and developers and the deliverables from the developers, and it will provide a platform on which the consumers can go back and claim if they should be shortchanged. Unfortunately, it's taking time. And one of the complexities in this is that because of our currency challenges, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is a developer. Okay. If you go into Borrowdale, if you go into Prospect, if you go into Mbare even, the chappie who owns one stand there in Mbare is a developer and is building lodges. You go to Borrowdale, he's building clusters. You go to Prospect and Waterfalls, they're building clusters and whatever. So it kind of it makes it very difficult. But a bunch of us have come together. I think there is about 15 of us so far that have come together. We've just learned that there is another 20 that have also ganged up somewhere to create a developers association. So naturally, the two must come together so that we form one umbrella body. But back to Shelter, we are as transparent as they come. If there is anything about Shelter that you're not happy about, you are welcome to come to reception and seek an answer. You are welcome to come to me as the managing director and seek an answer. You do not have to follow protocol. But Shelter is very particular about our image. We would not be 40 years old in the business if we were going to cut corners. And I want to believe that that speaks to who we are and how we conduct ourselves. I remember, in the last couple of weeks, there has been some excitement in some character that has been, bad-mouthing our organization. I can't wait for an opportunity to respond to that. But clearly that individual has abused the platform that they have been given. They have abused the office that they hold, because all the stuff that they are pushing out is just vitriol that has got no substance at all. Listen, from one interview to the next, this individual is contradicting himself, clearly, on a mission. I'm not sure what his mission is. We wish him well in whatever he's doing, but we can't wait for him and whoever else he speaks for to come to us and prove where we may have shortchanged anybody. This organization doesn't do it. We will rather be poor than shortchange somebody. We have got 23 residents in Railway Reserve who have not paid us a penny for their stands, despite the fact that they've got stands and they've got houses that they live in, because we are men and women of honor.
Wow, 40 years is a long time indeed. What are your thoughts on the property technology trend that is going on? And how do you see it impacting the future?
We are not as proficient in building technologies as we would like to be. This is an area we have only been in for the last 3 years. It's something we are learning as we're going along. What we know is that as we approach structures, we are going to be driven, or we are being driven by two things. Number one is that aesthetics, and number two is affordability. And of course, number three is accessibility, so that we allow our customers to be able to afford what we are delivering to the market.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mende, for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add for our listeners?
I would like to thank the market, and first of all, our clients that have supported us in all these years. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be there 40 years later. I would like to challenge them to come forward and share with us their experience with us, and to build together as we move into the next level. I'm always fascinated to hear phone calls from people that say, oh, you are the one who assisted my mother to buy a stand, or my father to buy a stand. I would also like to buy a stand. And nothing thrills us more than that. Where our name is, lifting us to greater heights. So that's a challenge to our clients and to the market at large. What can we do for you? How can we improve? How can we give you that which you desire? Let's sit down and let's talk about what we can do there. And also, finally, to colleagues in the trade, fellow developers, the capital markets, suppliers of goods and services, can we come together and refine this important asset in anybody's balance sheet, individual, institutional, or whoever.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mende, for sharing your insights. And that's it for today. That's the time that we've had. Don't forget to take advantage of our social media platforms. You can send through your questions, comments, and contributions. But that's it from me. Pleasant view.